Look at this. I knew it. Mel Kiper eats putty pies. He wants to call it a pumpkin pie. We all know Mel likes the putty. Getting paid for 25% accuracy. It's the NFL Draft Weekend Show. Come and get a slice of the putty pie. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Puddy Pie with Mickey and RoRo. As Q-Tip would say, complimentary are we, the Puddy Pie team. I am RoRo.
Mickey.
As promised, we're bringing you the Puddy Pie for the NFL Draft Weekend. But before we get started, make sure you spread the word about the show we feel that tries to keep it real. Please share, like, comment, follow, and subscribe to the Puddy Pie. It's free. It's for free. So you subscribe and we'll try to keep the putty flowing. So we reached that time of the football calendar, the NFL draft, right? This is the weekend we all become clairvoyant. We put on our prognostication hats and GM hats and trying to guess college players' career path based on 40 times body fat and highlights of players playing their best game against the likes of Kennesaw State. Honestly, we have no clue about how these kids will perform next year. It's a fun time. We get to use words like twitchy, bling, explosive, and transitions well. Like we're sommeliers at a wine tasting or reviewing a dating profile. Oh, she was a little bit twitchy. I don't know if I can go with that, but she was a little twitchy. Mickey, what was your observations for the NFL draft weekend, or as a draft as a whole?
Well, it was pretty much like every year. I just want to let everyone know watching with RoRo, it's a true test of patience or annoyance. Because as you watch this for 3 days, the pop-up flashes, the pick is in, the pick is in, the Giants are taking. RoRo says, they're taking so-and-so. And he nails it. Damn, nails it. Like, always right, 95% accuracy. Like,
Mel Kiper's plus.
what the F? It's just annoying. But go ahead.
Hey, I can't stop it when you speak facts. Whatever. We'll go look for your new car tomorrow. The show is the Puddy Pie. And we got to give out some Puddy Pies. So what you got?
My Puddy Pie of this draft goes to the NFL enforcing the stupid effing 8-minute rule, which the teams did a heck of a job. They did a heck of a job. Sometimes their picks were in at 3 minutes. They were flying. Picks in, picks in. And when I saw the pick is in, damn it, I want to know who'd they pick. But instead, I got good old talking and talking. Oh my God. So much extra. Not trying to take any shine of these men away. When they get to announce a pick, they show them walking along the hall. They got to put on their hat. They got to take a pose. Then they got to continue walking. Then they go to the stage, hold up the number 1 jersey. So Goodell can get his little pick for his little memory book. Then they got to walk off stage. They got to sign their rookie card. But the entire time the screen is flashing the next pick, the next pick. Let's get on with it. Who's the next pick? I don't need to see all that. I don't need all that extra. Damn, show their reaction. That's a joyous moment. Let's see it and give them that moment. But while they're working their way to the stage, show their highlights. Do their little conversation. Take the pick with the commissioner because, his ego needs that. Then just tell us the next pick. That's been in for 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
That's true.
That's how you Puddy Pie eating NFL people and you ESPN producers that play along with it keep that 8-minute rule that you've enforced moving this draft along.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like, no
He
lie.
heard me all day. He heard me all day yelling. Go ahead.
If she wasn't nodding off, like, between picks or taking too long, I just heard a lot of F bombs. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of her F bombs. F bombs. She kept yelling at me, "The pick is in." And I'm like, I know that uh, man, the draft was like, remember the Meet the Fockers? And when Ben Stiller was like waiting in the empty airport way before his flight departs, he got, had troubles with the Fockers. And he goes to the booth and the ticket agent say, "Sir, we're boarding rows 9 and above." And the flight's empty. And he's like, I'm row 8. And she's like, "No, go sit down." Then minutes later, all rows. Then she looks like him. She not like she never saw him before. And it was like he was to blame. So let just like on the movie, let the man on the plane and ESPN and NFL, y'all know us. Let us have the picks on time. Let us have the picks on.
Well, I do have a side note. I do. Can someone explain? Can you explain how someone can stay in college for 5 to 7 years and not have a master's degree in something? They're bouncing around sometimes in the portal, making grown man money and looking great on the field, playing against some kids straight out of high school that don't have portal money for the personal trainer or just their male body maturing to 21
No
playing
man
against
muscle.
grown
Yeah.
ass men.
Yeah, that's facts. That's fact. But I have to say, I mean, we've been on the draft. I have to say, I do love that the outdoor drafts. I don't know if I could stand in the crowd with something, with that big crowd. Like they had like 300,000 or something. But it looked fun. And I was happy for the players. It was
Yeah.
interesting. Well, it's interesting. We got to finally like recognize the youth of the players. When they have their helmets on, you forget how young they are. They worked hard, but they were so emotional. I'm like, it was like snot bubble crying. Like, oh, we got it. But I'm happy for them. But except for like you were saying, Mickey, those players have been in college for like 6 years and are like 25 years old, right? I mean, it's so old. They literally can come out of college running for Congress. Better yet, they'll be eligible to to wear slip-on Skechers with the memory foam. Why? They old, you know what I mean? But seriously, as for the drafted players and teams for 2026 draft, I gotta give out some putty pies too. I gotta give out some putty pies too. You know how we do. They might be ended up throwing back in my face, but I got certain pies, baby. I'm gonna judge my review. I know you were judging it on the broadcast. I'm gonna judge my review on the first 3 rounds. Anything else, no 4 through 7, it's just more larger guessing, and then we don't know how to do it. But first off, I'm gonna start it off. I think the trade the Giants made with the Bengals giving up Dexter Lawrence for the number 10 pick in the first round, that set the tone for a great draft for the Giants. I thought they had a fruitful draft with Arvell Reese, the linebacker from Ohio State, and Francis Maugua. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's got a Gua. That means he's a good offensive lineman from Miami. And then the number 37 at Colton Hood with Tennessee, and then Malachi Fields from Notre Dame, wide receivers. Also thought the Raiders and the Browns, and I believe the Dolphins drafted well for new coach Jeff Hatley. And looking to do what he does on defense and what he did for Green Bay. And the offense is going to be a work in progress. But as for the Puddy Pies, to get back to the subject, as for the Puddy Pies in round 1, I have to give a big fat slice to the queens of the NFC North, the Minnesota Vikings. In wine terms, their choice was a little complex. Drafting Caleb Banks, a defensive tackle from Florida at number 18. He's coming to the league with bad puppies, got bad feet, breaking the same foot twice in a year, and then only played 3 games in 2025. And he will definitely be one of those brothers that need the memory foam in the Skechers. So the Skechers make cleats. They might make cleats. But it maybe he'll have a little more time for a little additional fermentation, as they say in the wine world. Then I have to give a sliver of a putty pie, sliver, to the Arizona Cardinals for selecting Jeremiah the Bullfrog Love, right? And I would say the pick was, in wine terms, spicy. They don't get a pie because of love. We all need love, like LL say. And he's a talented player, but they have a weaker offensive line, one of the weaker offensive lines in the league. And they should start to rebuild there. Drafting Love is like serving world-class tacos to a to a newborn. They can't do nothing with it, right? So they got love and they got, tacos they can't eat. But LaFleur, brother, LaFleur, Mikey is the head coach at Arizona, and so that kind of fits. Then I'm gonna give a leftover putty pie to the Steelers for picking Max and Nakakur. I can't even pronounce his name from Arizona State at number 21. I say that pick in wine terms was bitter. First off, did not know brothers from Nigeria were named Maxwell. I'm saying I didn't. I mean, I digress. But again, not an attack on the player because he was. I mean, he's only been playing ball for like 5 years, and he's like a project. And I think the pick was bitter. I mean, like the Steelers are mad when the Eagles jumped ahead of them for Makai Lemon, the wide receiver from USC, and Steelers were on the phone with Lemon and all. When the Eagles select them, so it might have been like what you were saying, the ESPN
What?
delay, right? Like you said, like they might have been like, "Oh, dang, that's their pick," but then they had to rush and they picked Big Max, and Max might turn out to be okay, but they needed playmakers. And I guess they addressed their playmaker illness in the next round with Jeremy Bernard. I just like the name. Jeremy. I still see the trail of Puddy Pie crumbs has always led to Mike McCarthy's plate. Puddy Pie eating Mike is in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin, Mike McCarthy. Deal with the Pittsburgh. And then the round two, I would say we're going to set some putty pies out for Jacksonville Jaguars. They picked Nate Borkercher from Texas A&M, some blocking tight end that was projected to be way later in the draft. One of those players that played like 5 years, like we've been talking about. 4 of them at Nebraska. How you gonna play 4 years at Nebraska and then play 1 year somewhere else? Have no idea. And he had a whopping 19 catches last year. And I guess he was drafted as a backup, but it was the Jags' first pick of the draft. Putty to the Jags for not getting more value after a very, very successful 25 campaign. And I would say if I was to describe in wine terms, it was minerally, tasting like crushed rocks and crushed value picks. And then my next putty pie, I have to do it. I have to do it because I like doing it. It's the Chicago Bears drafting Iowa center Logan Jones. Honestly, honestly, he was good in college last year. In 25, he won the Remington Award for the best lineman or center. But again, he was one of those brothers that played 6 years. He's like 25. He's undersized. Like, imagine if you were in sixth grade and you playing against the first graders. I'd say I'd be Hall of Fame too. I'd be busting first graders up, right? And then my pylon is my Chicago hating pylon. He's an offensive lineman named Logan. Does that seem intimidating you? Logan? Like like Will Ferrell said to the kid at the shady lemonade stand in his PayPal commercial. Like, this is fresh squeeze. Give me a break, Logan. Give me a break, Logan. You trying to be an NFL center. I'm just saying. He might be good, but Logan's killing me. I would say the pick is in terms earthy because the Bears are coming back to earth in 2026. Oh, I'm going to get a lot of comments on that one. And then finally, round 3, I'm piling on a couple additional slices for the Cards and the Jaguars. Cards drafting Carson back seems like a reach with a weak line like I just described. I smell a lot of Josh Rosen all over again. Better yet, I smell Puddy Pie. I smell Puddy Pie college again since 2020. And I think you noticed it, and I'm noticing there's a trend about like these older players. So I would say the pick is a bit acidic. And then the Jaguars drafting also in the 3rd round, Albert Regis, defensive tackle from Texas A&M. It doesn't seem like a complete match with what the Jaguars are looking for. They're trying to look for an interior pass rush. They were kind of weak in the middle in the pass rush. I mean, he's more of a run defender, but hey, he might be all right. But since I'm on the nicknames, I'm on the names right now. I got after Logan. I got to get after Albert too, right? I have to get after Albert. Seems like an old name. Maybe he'll fit in with some of the older communities in Florida, right? Hanging out with Hazel and Cecil. Hazel and Cecil might welcome Albert in there, but I seen this pick is a little toasty, especially when you start to combine again another third round pick of the Jaguars at number 100, Jalen Husky at safety. Do you really want a Husky safety? I'm just asking for a friend. Do you want one? I'm just saying. In the end, in the end, I'd say overall the Puddy Pies will go to the Vikings, Queens, the Jaguars, and the Cardinals. And like I said, it's all guesswork, so I'm just having a little bit of fun. But bottom line, all of these teams, to all the teams, don't start your off-season workouts and mini caps. Don't give them the Puddy Pie. Don't give your teams that are starting the off-season workouts and mini cap. Keep your draftees away from the putty. We don't want to be giving these young men putty pies in the fall like we normally do when it's so early in their career. So that's my advice. There may be good draft choice. We're just having a little fun. Final thoughts, Mickey, on the NFL draft?
I have some final thoughts on your comments that you just stated. Like, I didn't need all your salty comments like calling my Vikings queens. End of the day, you're such a Packer hater. You got go after the Vikings, you go after the Bears. Jeez. But with the Vikings, it doesn't matter who they drafted, who their coach is. Just name the goddamn quarterback. Until then, all I got is prayers for Jefferson. It really doesn't matter who they draft. And that's a for real statement. Who's
True.
throwing the ball?
True.
Who's calling the plays out on the field? Who are they getting behind? But I also have a comment on, dang it, Ro. When did we start out handing out like slivers, leftovers, crumbs, or trails of a putty pie? Why are you being so nice when you know they're eating putty pies?
I'm being nice. It's a draft. It's a draft.
No, I've drafted in fantasy football. You ain't nice.
Well, I'll be nice, kind of. Tell us, put it in the comments what you guys think of our observations and what you thought of the draft in general. Doesn't have to be our observation.
It was
But
long.
that's the Putty
It was
Pie.
long. Go
That's
ahead.
the Putty Pie NFL Draft Edition. We will see you around. And we'll be back preseason. We're just around the corner. That's Mickey. I'm RoRo. We're out. Peace.